Alright guys, it's another edition of The Gliders on Bet WGB TV. Like I always say, it's a privilege to be hosting the show instead of my boss, who's not here today, Joy Ojabalu. For those of you who've been wondering why she's not on the show today, you know, how did I miss that middle name again?
I was going to say that.
So it's another beautiful edition. My name is Emmanuel Sebastian. For those of you who don't know, beautiful way to start the show by saying thank you to everyone who's kept in touch with us on the show. For those of you who have been dropping comments, subscribing, I think we have our best version of the show in terms of numbers. The last one we did it was during the Super Eagles game. You know, it's wonderful numbers, and this is what we want to see often. We want to see, consistent on the channel. So thank you to everyone who's, subscribed, who've liked, who've shared, who've dropped comments, and want to see more of that. On the show today, it's a much changed lineup. We have a Loni. He's not new on the show, but we just learned him briefly. But before I come to him, let me come to Timothy. Timothy, welcome. Good to have you on the Gliders once again.
Yeah, hi Emmanuel, welcome. Good to have you. I think it's been a while you hosted the show. It's
just funny when guy they tell me hi. Like I don't know. I don't know. It's just you.
Okay, Alpha Emmanuel, how you doing?
Just tell guy hi.
No, I just want to cool. Like, how you doing now?
I'm alright, bro.
During the WAFCON, you were here for so many times. Then just few weeks after it ended, then since then it's been joy, and now we have Emmanuel.
It's a joy show now.
Yeah, it's a joy show. When you say joy, it reminds me of one track by what's this? Kids that reigned, Kids musician, then emo too, Joy, in my heart is ringing. Was it Destiny Kids or I can't remember
the name too.
Yeah, but
I know the song.
I don't know what you were saying.
So when you say it's Joy, the title of the Kids track was Joy.
Yeah, so I remember the song.
Just took me back.
Yeah.
All right.
Good to be back on the show. We were here on the last episode.
Yeah.
And me, yourself, and Joy. And now, it's a much different lineup. But good to have you on the other side. Because saying I don't permanently sit for me. One day I go change them. I
don't know if anybody has dropped that comment. Now only here Timothy they always sit down. Maybe I said it last time.
Somebody asked me when Timothy will host. I said I don't know. Maybe when we come back from AFCON.
All right. As you can see on your screens, the Loni I talked about earlier. It's not new on the show. Is the elevator one of sports at Daffy Mount USA. Good to have you back on the Gliders.
French player and lonely. I don't understand what's on the talk show. In short, I'm not going to come on this show again.
And so in case you're wondering why
I made up my mind not to be on the show again. From this is going to be my last appearance.
But good to have you.
Let me tell you one funny thing that happened this week. So I was last week. I was somewhere pitching for sponsorship for our trip to the AFCON in December. I guess why didn't you guys go to South Africa? I said, we'll not get money. Will you go for this playoff in Morocco? Since you've been to Morocco, I said, the visa don't expire. We need a new set of visa, but I don't have the money. And the guy said I should throw a challenge to my audience, and I'm going to say it on the other channel, that I should throw a challenge that they would give me if I walk from the beginning of Third Milan Bridge in Ikoyi to the end in Oworoshoki, and I'm doing live, that they would donate the money. And I asked him, I said, bro, so how much will you donate? Because it's not as if there is an association of Elegbede TV fan club and then they send you're not speaking for them. He said, if I try it now, and it all came from the no pain, no gain. I have to punish myself for me to gain something. Directed me to a movie. I had to go and watch James. What's the title of this movie now? Here Comes the Boom. It's a nice movie. Anyway. Yeah. So it's about a school program that they wanted to cancel the music program in the school, and the biology teacher decided to go and take up martial art fighting to raise the fund, $50,000. But they beat the guy. But for every loss or win, he gets money. He was paid until the final one. They now move him up to MMA, where he took the beating of his life. And the guy was just telling me the story. Then I've not seen the movie. That you could do something like that and raise money. I was like, Nigerians and they reason like that too. I go suffer this finish. I don't see 80 million. 80 million not be joke. But it was just something that I thought I should ask Emmanuel, would you agree? I never asked her the question. Would you agree to join me in trekking? Would they stream my live in trekking from what's it called now? Ikoyi, the entrance of Third Milan Bridge, or that Osborne.
Yeah.
to Oworoshoki, would you agree to do that trek if you're sure that they will contribute the 80 million that will take 10 of us to AFCON?
I mean, if it's doable, why not? You know, let's.
No, it's not doable. Say if it's doable now. But would you agree if the money is available?
Yeah, for me,
I think something I can do. I mean, yeah,
I will do it. So far, there's a guarantee that I will get it.
Timothy, if you track that distance,
I can check. I can check the distance now. I've checked.
We
I've checked a lot of distances now.
What's the longest distance you've trekked?
I'm not putting it into a fact. Like I'm not putting into factor.
Into
But I've
calculations,
checked and then checked my phone, my Samsung steps. This thing, and the checking alone was about almost 20,000 steps. So that's a lot.
That's like half of the bridge.
Yeah,
so multiply that by 2.
So something you can do.
So I mean, I think if as far as there's a guarantee at the end, but I don't know if you
Yeah, that's the point.
if you'll be able to do it. Yeah,
If there's a guarantee at the
Anyway,
end.
there's guarantee of the money. If there's guarantee of the money, forget. I'll take the pay. I'll go to my leg. Obviously,
Yeah,
my left knee go report to me. I would have to even go to the hospital, go suck off fluid from my knee. But if 80 million is guaranteed, I'll do it too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll do it. I don't know. We'll talk about it on
yeah.
the show.
I mean, anyway, it's always good to have you on the show, bringing your expertise to the table. I mean, the show is always packed.
I did cause trouble.
You
Don't let me go and cause trouble for you people. Now I come because your disclaimer. Anything I say here, now me talk about, and they invite me.
You know, filled with knowledge and all that. So it promises to be a wonderful time on the show. And I mean, the week was fantastic. The weekend, so many.
Joy does not like me being on the show. Haven't you noticed that?
I mean, it is what it is at this point. So you have to be here, and we have to bring you in. So a lot happened. I mean, for our combat sports lovers, it was a disappointment in the end. There was this fight we were waiting for. We anticipated that fight so brilliantly.
Was
it was in the UFC, Syria again, and Thomas Spinal. But I mean, after one round, no contest in the end. There was an eye poke. So when you poke it's unintentional, but when you poke someone in the eyes, I mean, it's
out of the rules.
Yeah, out of the rules. So it was a sad end. It was a fight we were anticipating to see, but it was a no contest. So Thomas Spinal still the champion. And of course, when you go to boxing, Parker, who's been on a wonderful form recently, defeating the likes of Wilder on the way, got knocked out by Wadley over the weekend.
To ask you a question.
So Wadley getting ready to face Usyk. I mean, we all know Usyk, yeah.
Easy beats.
So we wait to see how that one pan out. So yeah, over to.
I was going to ask, which of the combat sports can you do if you were going to do it professionally? Of course, not the don't do it at home stuff. Like, which of them would you want to do for money?
Is that for Timothy or for me?
For me. No, I'll
if
say
you can answer also.
No, I'll say wrestling. Yeah, I mean, I can't do boxing. It's so I don't know how that became a sport.
Is wrestling almost than boxing?
No, wrestling. I mean, at least you grapple. So I'll just go wrestling easily for me. Not boxing, not UFC, no MMA. No. So boxing, just to answer your question. I don't know. You're still thinking about it, but no. You look like a boxer to
I'm
me.
not a violent person, right? So boxing will be good.
You look like
straight up.
Boxing. I'll do boxing. But I like that MMA because sometimes the thing with boxing that people don't understand is that level of discipline where you have to plant your feet. I don't think I have that kind of discipline. So I think it's going to be MMA where my hand and my leg will work because. In boxing, you're watching the boxing and something telling you that the way this person is positioned in their stance, if I could just kick that leg. People lean on one side.
Yeah.
Someone like me now, I walk on my right side because if I put too much pressure on my left, I'm off. Mm-hmm. Right? So I've managed, I'm like Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise have a limp. David Beckham too have a limp, but they systematically manage how they work with it. I think I'll do MMA. I'll do better with MMA. Because
so you ask the question, we'll try to use.
I love boxing, so I think I'll just do boxing. So far, there's money involved.
You're too tall for boxing.
But we've got some tall,
the likes of
some tall boxers.
Fury, Tyson Fury,
Fury,
brothers. The Benin boy, what's his name? John T. Wilder.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
he said, "I'm Benin boy."
I'm Benin boy now. No, I'm Benin boy.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so I know he's got Nigerian affiliate, but
okay.
I don't really know where here. But I mean, for our combat lovers, I just wanted to chip that in. I mean, we might not go into it in details
and
right now.
And they can tell us in the comment section.
Yeah, but you can tell us in the comments. I mean, was your expectations cut off in that UFC bout between
and which
Tom
of the combat sports
Aspinall?
they'll do?
I'm a righteous man right now. My expectations are not cut off. The expectations of the righteous shall not be cut short. Not so that like the Bible.
Exactly.
I'm a righteous man right now.
Yeah. So let's moving on the show. Let's get in this time before we go on our first break. Let's just quickly touch on this one. Is the CAF Champions League. Rivers United finally. Will be playing in the group stage. For all the talk surrounding Remo Stars, how they failed to do the job, how they were humiliated in Abeokuta in that first leg. By the way, they considered 2 in South Africa, so it's a total of 7-1 in aggregate. So Mamelodi Sundowns are through to the group stage, and Rivers United, the only Nigerian team to make it to the group stage of the CAF competition. So how exciting is this for Nigerian football? Let me start with you, Edafe on Sport.
I think that for me, a lot of excitement. I mean, it's my former team, if you put it that way. But just beyond that, Finidi George, for all of the shaming, all of the bad mouthing that he's been having, it's good that he's gradually. I like when your coaching career starts with serious pain, big moment of embarrassment. There are only 2 options you have. You can either sink with that embarrassment of playing 2 games with the Super Eagles, drawing 1 and losing 1, and you are the shame of the society, you are the persona non grata, or you dig in and say, you know what, okay, I failed, but this is not going to be the final story of my career. I'm going to rewrite the script, and what I will do next will be bigger. And that's exactly what Finidi George is doing. I'm not saying Rivers United will go and win the CAF Champions League. That's asking for too much. But if they miraculously, please don't quote me out of context, if we miraculously go and win it, it will be nice. And I know that even if we win it, then people will come and batch me again, is it not the league that you say is not good enough? Our league is still not good enough, let's be honest. But I mean, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for everybody involved. Okekpaluku, we always bash them when they're not doing well. Christopher Green, the players, the backroom staff, everybody. I think that I'm most happy for Finidi George. You all know that he's, for me, a big brother, and I always love and respect and adore him. It's a fantastic human being, and this type of result is something that can keep him going. Now he should focus on that, but at the same time don't lose sight of the league. I don't think he will still be on the job if he focus so much on the CAF Champions League, eventually go and lose that in the semi-finals or even the finals, but don't win the league. People will say it's still not good enough. So he should sustain whatever thing he's doing now with pursuing the Nigerian league. The league might be semi-amateur, but winning it seems to put you somewhere there, and then it means that you will still continue to compete on the continental stage. So it's good. It's saving Nigeria some coefficiency point. I think it's Timothy that will know that.
Yeah. So
whatever progress they made might give us some coefficiency point, but I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the team. I'm happy for everybody involved.
So I think it also maintains our 4th slot when it comes to continental football next season. So I'm going to come to you on that, Timothy. So, I mean, Rivers United, first time in their history, if I'm not mistaken, that they will play CAF Champions League proper in the group stages since 2018-2019. The first Nigerian team, that was Lobby Stars then, to qualify also from the group stage. Huge treat for Finidi George. I mean, this is a manager who was, till today, people still hate him for that short spell with the Super Eagles. So, to see him at the helm of this Rivers United side achieving this, how big of a win is that for Nigerian football? Yeah,
a very big win. When he left the Imba, I think after he won the league and then the next season he left, I went to Rivers United. Many people did not believe in him. And I think he first went to the Super Eagles, then after the Super Eagles, then he went to Rivers United just a few months after he left the Super Eagles. And since then, it's been a very good ride. Let's forget that, last season they did not win the league, but in your first season, you go all the way, come second against the Remo Stars side that were very decent, both home and away. I mean, they picked up good points. And if you look at the points difference, I think it was just about 7 points between them and Remo Stars. And for Rivers United, they've always been that thing that, I don't know how they do it, but as much as, we can bash them like Edafe said, maybe the structure and some of the things they may do. Like yesterday now, if you want to call out Rivers United, for the game on Saturday, you can call them out, because why are we playing in Rivers? And this is the chance where CAF has given us the opportunity to stream games. It's not the broadcast rights is not with any channel at the moment, so you can stream your games, and we could not watch the game. So it's something that we can bash them for on that side, but on the footballing side,
okay, Paluku, I not do. And this boy talk am no go confuse. No go confuse. Not me get that down. Naim, okay, bros. Because I go soak up Port Harcourt. I know how they beat me. Naim, yes, Naim. Those what are side boys. If na they look for who, I go shout who goes you.
Naim.
I could tell them say
Naim the tall one. I'm the short one. No, it's my colleague. I'm not the boss.
So yeah, like I was saying, if you can bash them on that part, but on the footballing side, you will also give them credit. And getting to the CAF Champions League, just about, I think Rivers United were formed in 2016. It's not even up to 10 years. And okay, or maybe you can say it's been a long while, but they won the league in 2021, 2022, and now yet they're in the CAF Champions League. They've always played in the CAF Confederation Cup.
Yeah.
They got into the quarter-final of that stage, and now this is a bigger stage. I mean, they've done well for themselves.
We are going to the finals. Don't worry, we're going to the finals.
It's a very good one, and aside that, we all know that okay, they've kept our 4 spots in the coefficient of the club, the CAF club ranking. So that's already decent enough. Whether they win it, whether they don't win it, they've already given us that 4 slots. And we would always thank Rivers United. As if you say, oh, they are the savior, they're always helping us coefficients wise and all that. So good for them, and let's see how far they can go. But I'm scared in the sense that this is where the big boys play. So in the CAF Champions,
so you mean we're not big boys?
They need to chill the big boys.
Wait. You know we're not big boys. You say we're not big boys. This is where
the bigger boys play. We are big, but we are not the.
Maybe that is understandable.
Changing the rules as we go. Say last week he was breathing out everybody's name. This does not mean that the league is bad.
No, last week I was trying to let us understand.
Don't let us understand nothing. Don't end it.
So this is where the bigger boys play, and the likes of Al Ahly's. You see Mamelodi Sundowns. You see so many big teams that
bring them on. We'll take them as part.
So it's maybe difficult in the CAF Confederation Cup. They are big clubs there also, but the way they went into the groups, the way they went into the quarter-final, it may not be that easy this time around. So they have to.
So it's 2 teams are qualifying for the group.
Yeah, 2 teams are qualifying for the group.
Qualify.
So I really hope they can do and then get into the quarter-final. Then from there, we'll pick themselves up. But talking about focusing on the league, I think Rivers United have got a big squad and a squad that can manage playing on the continent and also playing in the league. But that said, they need to find a way to maybe sometimes play games. I don't know if you schedule games too much, like maybe after playing one CAF game, they already have about 4 or 5 rescheduled games. Then you have to go and play.
We can't fix that one. We can't solve that one.
Well, I don't feel like
the African geography. Let me jump in on that one. The African geography does not make it easy, and then the whole boundaries that we have in Africa. Africa is a continent with the most boundaries. Africa is the continent where people from the same continent need visas to travel to almost every part, and then there are so many parts of Africa where you want to fly to. You have to go outside of Africa first and go to like Dubai, go to like Qatar, go to some other places before you arrive. There are flights to Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Egypt, Uganda, Tanzania that are routed out of Africa from Nigeria out of Africa. Like if you're taking Qatar Airways, like you want to get a comfortable flight, you don't want to be flying and be praying, God help me, you have to go out. And if you take a Qatar Airways flight, for instance, you're going to take like 12 hours or more to wait for your connecting flight. So you fly from here to Qatar, 6 or 8 hours, and then you have to wait 12 hours. And then when you finish the same procedure, it's not like in Europe where you're traveling from Milan to Amsterdam, 2 hours, max 3 hours. You are there within Europe. You finish your game that night. You're taking your bus. You're going. It's a charter flight. It's the club that have the airline. You jump on your flight again for one night. You don't go back to your place. The next morning you're coming to doing recovery. Then on on weekend you're playing your European matches. In Africa, if you play a continental game on Thursday away, you can't come back home and play like Crystal Palace now. You cannot come and play on a Sunday evening because logistics would not make it happen. So you can't blame football for it. You can't blame anybody for it. It is how the continent is. So if we can break down the continent, first off, have like a train system that cut across everywhere, and then almost every country. How many countries have their own official airlines? Almost all the major airlines that are flying across Africa are owned by people from outside of Africa. Etihad, Qatar Airways, Lufthansa, KLM, all those ones. I mean, there are sometimes you have to travel to Europe. You need a visa to come back again to Africa. Thanks to the Asian route now that is open to us. So all of those things will be a problem. So we would definitely have rescheduled games.
And one thing is when you reschedule games at this time, make sure you reschedule it within the calendar. I think that's one way to also curb it at this time. If we can't get to that level where we can be able to say, okay, play so many games in particular. So once you reschedule, make sure it's rescheduled within the calendar, within the season, so it doesn't affect or extend when the season has been proposed to end and stuff like that. For Rivers United now, they play in Uyo against Black Bulls where they qualified. They have a rescheduled game on Wednesday against Ikorodu City, but in Port Harcourt as well. So you could see at times when you play both games at home, it tends to be easier. But when you travel, like he said, and then getting back to also persecute the same game as well, recovery and all that. So I think that's one way to also look at it as well. But in as much as we slander Remo Stars last time, and we just need to also talk about Rivers United for doing the job, because when Remo Stars, a lot was said. Credit to Rivers United. Had it been that they also lost, it would have been catastrophic. Two of our top teams not being able to qualify to the group stage proper, and I like the way they did it. 3-1 win at the end. Rivers United, for a team that don't score too many goals, 3 goals
exactly
on the night, and they were 2-0 up. Blackpool scored 1. If it had ended 2-1, Rivers United would be out. Away goals rule will come into play as well. So, but they dug deep. They got that crucial third goal, and it stayed that way in the end. So, credit to Rivers United and Finidi George. My only, bit of a slight issue to this game was the fact that the game was, I don't know when this is going to stop. The game was moved forward due to the fact that there was a concert in Uyo. Davido was holding his 5th Thor. So they had to do something about the game. So I don't know when we're going to get there. You don't need to do Gyoke is here for us because I'm going to come to you on this. When are we going to
I plead the fifth.
When are we going to move past this?
Now this channel goes so far.
That's the only stadium we have.
This channel ain't goes so
and
far.
it wasn't covered. I saw complaints on social media that the grass wasn't even covered. Everything. That's our only CAF approved stadium. So everything was on top of the pitch, just the way it is. So I mean, I was just worried about the pitch. We have Abuja Stadium, the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, that has been there. Nothing has been, even though there was I think there was a novelty game played this weekend, African Legends and Barcelona Legends, where they did a bit of a magic on the surface and it looks lush green on the eye at some point. But I mean, we have only Uyo right now as our CAF approved stadium, and this is happening. So I just hope in the aftermath, the maintenance, which they've done properly for large parts since the stadium got renovated, that is going to continue after this concert. So I don't know what you guys make of that one. Stadiums hosting games, is this something that we should continue to make do with, or is this something that we can find an alternative solution to? Lebeta, you need to talk on this one.
I think the long-term solution goes back to infrastructure. I mean, you can't say Davido does not have the right to host a concert in any stadium of his choice, because if the same Davido go to the US and fill the $5.5 billion SoFi Stadium,
we will still say why
nobody will complain about whether they are using they're covering the grass or not. What we will hear is 24 hours after the game, the stadium, the grass have been relayed, because it's a system that works. But over here, the system doesn't work. This is the land of the blind. The one Iman is the king. This is the only stadium we have. We know that they will need to play, even if Rivers United are not coming to play continental game, Aqua United will need to play there whether midweek or weekend. And I don't know if the stadium will be fixed before weekend and then balls start bouncing left, right, shots are not going on target. Those things could come to play. But if you look at it, it's the case of the egg and the chicken, which come first. You can never really, put it out, because look at it carefully. You will say the Gospel Aquario Stadium or the best, whatever the name of the stadium is, because the name is changing every time.
Next of
Champions, is a business. Is a state property. It's not a federal government property. It's not under Bureau of Public Enterprise. It's a business enterprise. So it needs to generate money. And if Davido is offering what a Rivers United and Aqua United are not offering to take the space, as a business person, you're not going to say no. Because that stadium takes about 250 million every month, if I'm not mistaken, to run it, the generator, the water pump, and all the maintenance to pay salary. So if Davido, let's say hypothetically, Davido is coming and say, I have 500 million to give to you to host this, are you going to say no? No, there's Rivers United that comes and play. Rivers United, maybe they pay 50 million. and this is just one night. So all of those things come to the conversation. Would have been better if we have a lot more stadiums. There are 3 stadiums in Port Harcourt. It's a shame that a state like Rivers State, that have more money than Akwa Ibom, that have more people than Akwa Ibom, that have more, let me not use that word now for the come for me now, but feels like a state where they have more educated elites than Akwa Ibom. No facts to back this up, I beg. But that's what I think, because they've always, portrayed themselves like that.
There's one undergoing renovations now. So you see the Yakubu Gowon Stadium, yeah, trying to go.
But it's going to be in like 12 months.
They've been renovating that stadium since I was playing. This is the Elekaya Stadium. It's not the Elekaya. There's Elekaya. There is Adokia Mesimaka. There is Shark Stadium. That one and Abush. All of these stadiums. I'm always wondering, like, why should a team from Rivers State even be going outside to play football? We have no business, and we're saying I consider myself Rivers boy, Port Harcourt boy too. We have no business going. People should be paying to come and use our stadium. But these things. So if those things are done, fine. I'm not going to be able to blame Davido. I just think that the organizers or the owners of the stadium should have had the materials, that thing that they used to, trampoline that they used to cover the pitch to protect the grass.
Exactly, yeah.
That's something that should be part of it. But I guess they didn't plan it. And it's Julius Berger that built the stadium, that designed it. They are the ones that are also maintaining it. Maybe they trust the nursery, because there is a nursery attached to that stadium where they do their grasses, and I've seen them replace grasses before. Maybe they trust what they have in the nursery. They just feel, okay, let's use this one and face out this grass. Within a week or 2, we will replace it. I don't know. I'm just thinking that's the case, because if you put all those studs, all those plastic chairs, everything on that grass, I don't think immediately there'll be trauma on the grass.
Yeah.
And a whole lot of problem, but it's business. So you look at it from the business side and say to yourself, Akwa United, Akwa Ibom State also need the money, to pay bills, to run their facilities. And if football is not bringing that money, if Davido is coming with the money, it's a good thing for them. If they show that they are a very good host, if they show that they can pack the stadium, on the concert, Wizkid might bring his own, Akon might decide to tour Nigeria and go and do one there. All the kind of business opportunities. You're not going to throw it away.
Yeah.
It also creates opportunity for tourism. It also creates a lot of opportunities. I'm a lot more happy when I see people like them, Davido. I'm happy when they fill stadium, O2 Arena and the rest abroad, though. But I'm happy when they bring it home. When this Wyclef went to go and perform in Haiti, it was one of his best performances ever, because he felt like I'm performing to my people. The people really know me. People who saw me.
It's a different feeling.
It's a different feeling from going abroad. It's like when you're doing a show maybe you're on TV. The best audience you have is when your mom or your dad tell you that I watched you today. That was a very good show. So the greatest moment of my life was when I was on ITV. My mom would watch. Whether I'm talking rubbish, whether she understands football, she doesn't understand football, she's just happy.
Yeah.
And that's the greatest moment. So the Nigerian artists coming to perform at home is not a problem. I just think that's not something we'll put on the video. We can't sit here and put it on the video, but we can say maybe the stadium management should have done one better. Mistakes makes us learn and makes us improve. So if we make mistake on this one, we say our mistakes, we will learn. Airport used to be easy to pass until 9/11 happened in 2001, and the security is different. So those are some of the things you have to look at.
Yeah, we have to say that. Congratulations once again to Rivers United. First time in their history they will play CAF Champions League football. We wish them all the best, and hopefully
group stage.
Yeah, group stages rather. So we wish them all the best, and hopefully they get to progress and go one better and do better than what they did in the CAF Confederations Cup.
Don't worry.
Last time. So good to see a Nigerian team in it. So we'll go on a very first break on the show, and when we return, so many things to talk about, from the Premier League to the El Clasico. So you want to keep it locked with us. We'll be right back after this. All right, welcome back, guys. Still the Gliders on BetWGB TV, and like we always remind you on every edition of the show, remember, you've got some bonus credit to claim if you sign up on the BetWGB platform. Just use our promo code Gliders and enjoy the very best as you can on the platform. And remember to bet responsibly and make sure you are at the right age of betting. So this is not for underage, and also bet responsibly, like we always say. So back on the show, guys, let's talk about the biggest game of the weekend now. It was the El Clasico, but something
that's the biggest game of the
is that pun intended or no pun intended now?
Whether you pun or whether you not porn, that's the biggest game.
I beg, let's not do this on this edition again. I beg, it's this whole porn thing. But I mean, something worries me about a Clasico. Before that game, I don't know, has that fixture lost the glamour, the savor? You know, we always look at it like I wasn't so much anticipating that game because I mean, I know a Clasico now, you know, the big teams playing and stuff like that. But has that fixture lost something for you? Had even Yamal didn't come out to stoke that rivalry before that game, I mean, I wouldn't have known that there was an El Clasico. Yes, as a football fan, we know, but I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. That excitement of the El Clasico is coming. Has it lost that spark for you, that fixture?
I think it has for me. Okay, let me talk about myself. It has for me, and to be very honest, when I was much younger, watching the El Clasico, or even before the El Clasico, there were build-ups that came for it. Maybe when you are watching the TV, maybe you watch the Premier League today, and then you see watch DSTV, then you see adverts that go on. Okay, they show you the games from maybe the last 2 seasons. You see they show you the actions. They just put a 3 minutes.
It's still there. Those clips, those things are still there.
There's just something about it.
No. TikTok and WhatsApp gossip have taken you away from that view. It's still there.
I don't think I came across. I don't know, but I don't think I came across any intense of view of those things on TV. Maybe it's no longer on the TV I watch, which is DSTV. I don't know if I'm opportunity to say that, but what I'm trying to say is the energy, those rivalry that we used to see.
Yeah, opportunity to say it, just that we write you invoice.
you know, sometimes I think this. I came across some, because sometimes in the lead up to these games, they started showing you. They will start showing you classic games.
Yeah, that was
from the past El Clasicos, not just in some big games, even in the Premier League as well. So they take you back memory lane, previous clashes and all that. But I'm talking about, I don't know if it's the players that are there now, because there's just something that excites you when the El Clasico is coming. So I don't know. That's just what it is like for me, because you look at the players that are there. No disrespect to these guys, but when we talk about,
please disrespect them. You must disrespect them.
The energy of the Sergio Ramos, Pepe, Puyol, Piqué, and all of those fights, and the intensity that it brought. Then if you watch the El Clasico, 45 minutes used to look like 20 minutes. 1 half, and then quickly it looked like when we just start this first half now, and then within 45 minutes already 2-1, or it's already 3-0. Then second half, Ronaldo or Messi is coming out to score 2 goals in the first few 15 or 10 minutes of the second half. Then towards the end of the game, it's so intense. Then you begin to see tackles flying from one end to another. You begin to see players going at each other and all of those things. But I think it has lost it to an extent in recent years. But it was nice to kind of see a glimpse of it yesterday. The way Vinicius went at the players on the bench, and then the way Yamal also after the game went at each other, and even all of those tackles. You saw Pedri, even with after he got a yellow card, before he got red carded, you could still see him putting in all of those energy. And the likes of Jude Bellingham also, as an English boy, you expect him to kind of have that little arrogance. So it was really nice seeing all of those yesterday in the El Clasico. But before yesterday, maybe in the previous or recent ones, it's really not. It's just been let's play, the excitement of either Barcelona is winning or Real Madrid is winning, and then we go to bed. But all of those intense fights and all of those intense going together, head-to-head stuff from players or even coaches on the sidelines, it did not used to be there. But it was nice to at least see a glimpse of it yesterday.
Yeah, anybody, did you anticipated this recent El Clasico like you've done with previous ones? Was there the excitement for you?
I think that generally football has evolved into a place where the game is now softball. It's not really. Football is no longer intense. If you get intense in football right now, you look like you're foolish. Let me give you a very good example. Back in the day, when you analyze football and you say that player was foolish, this thing he did, why did he collect that red card? That's normal analysis. Today, if you do it, people tear into you on social media. Oh, their mental health. So people are not very careful with their words. Let me break it down. Before, it doesn't matter where they are on the table. AC Milan versus Inter Milan is a war.
Yeah.
Derby della Madonnina, the Milan derby, it's war. Italian derby, Juventus, Inter Milan, it's war. We had one just now. It felt like a friendly game. We were talking about the excitement of the goals and the two brothers that were playing against each other. They were talking and laughing. Inter Juventus of before. No, that's not possible now. where Ronaldo da Lima, that is not a stubborn person, is trying to fight with Alessandro De Peru. Where Zanetti is Cambioso, everybody is going at each other. Avero Rokoba, the troublemaker, or Zamorano, you see them coming at each other. Manchester United versus Arsenal, opening game of the season. So firework, people should be punching each other. It should be bloody. He went, we're the better team, we didn't win. That was the presser. Those are the games where coaches even don't agree to come to the press conference. So if you look at it from all the leagues in Europe, there is no energy, no fight. The only place where we still have fight, like verve, energy, is probably in Napoli, but the main place is in South America, Argentina. Boca Junior, River Plate, those ones there, they didn't get the memo. Whatever anybody is saying in Europe, no concern them. They didn't get it. Even in Brazil, the fight, what we used to hear, Botafogo and Corinthians or Santos and Sao Paulo, it has simmered down. So I think this is what football is in this generation. This is what football have now become, and there are more. The conversation is more about SGs. People would die for SG now than the real tackle. Some people will win the World Cup SG. Crystal Palace have the highest SG in the Premier League. What are you people really saying? What does that even mean to my generation? What is SG?
Expected goals.
That's it. You ask the question, so he don't answer you.
Why is that? Look, I can't come a day where I'll be doing analysis and I'll be telling you SG of this club. Expected goals. What is your expected wealth? Why are we not discussing human beings? So you're based on the education you have, your exposure you have, your expected wealth is supposed to be in the same league with Dangote. If we're not, why should that be in football? But that's what everybody. The way people take SG serious, almost every time I turn on my TV or YouTube, see people analyze the core of their conversation is SG. It's like, what does this even mean? Can somebody explain that to me? So intensity is gone, and then plus the fact that in football matches these days, the element of surprise no longer work. You score a goal. I saw Yokore scored the second goal for Arsenal against Atletico. After the game, they asked him why was his celebration kind of like tame. He said he was waiting to see if they will call it offside or not. You saw all of those things have removed what we used to love about the game. There was a time where you watch a game, you go back and rewatch. You could not tell the game minute by minute. These days, it's not even important. I'd rather watch highlights of a game than sit down and watch the whole 90 minutes. Because I watched the 90 minutes of the Arsenal game and I'm telling myself I should have just watched the highlights of this game. 2 minutes, one goal, one. I mean, we played 33 minutes, no shot on target.
Passing.
Well, what's that? Is that football? So many things. The game have lost so many things, and then the players. If you look at the days of Abelardo, Ronald Koeman, Pep Guardiola, or Raul Gonzalez on this side, Ike Casillas, you could name the entire starting 11. I don't know anybody today who follows football who can name the starting 11 of Madrid, the starting 11 of Barcelona, starting 11 of Arsenal, starting 11 of Manchester United. We don't know anymore. And where is the intensity going to come from when we don't even know the players that are playing it, and then they walk into the field like they are friends, like they're going on a date. A derby game looks like people who are going on a date, or they are going to play truth or dare in Bamiji's sports lounge. Come on, football has lost that intensity. So it's not about the Classico, but it's just generally what football has become. If Nigeria is playing, Nigeria is going to play the playoff. Cameroon is a possible opponent if we beat Gabon. Yeah. You'll be shocked that if we beat Gabon, when we beat Gabon, so people don't take me out. And then Cameroon miraculously beats Congo. There'll be no intensity to that game. Let them just play and just go away. We will not have that energy because we don't have it anymore. This is what football has become. Anybody who's waiting for that intensity is waiting for nothing. It's not going to happen. We're not going to see it. I'm sorry. This is what your generation have given us. Where after we gave you guys good football, energy, your generation says technology. This is what these people brought. This is what you have done. And money.
Well, still on the game. In as much as
the sad part is that you people now earn more money. Doing rubbish.
Still on the El Clasico. Yeah, still on the game. I mean, at the end, it was a win for Real Madrid 2-1. I think it was a much needed win. because I think last season they didn't get the better of Barcelona across how many
15 or 18 goals.
How many games?
The last 3 games they've not won.
And this was the one they really needed, and they got the eventual 3 points. It took them 5 points.
Is this the one they really needed?
No,
they might miss the Champions League knockout and Barcelona win.
No, for the now, as where we are at the moment. So it took them, I think, 5 points clear now of Barcelona at the top of the La Liga. But before that game, there was this, rivalry that Yamal already, stoked already. As much as I like it sometimes when players are pissed. That's why sometimes
my own is not sometimes. I need that every day.
That's why sometimes when players don't celebrate against their former teams, I get it. But
most stupid thing ever invented in football.
You've come past, you've done it. Some people might find this, you might disagree with me, but sometimes I just find it, weird and funny when you score against.
I feel like you're disrespecting your current playmaster.
And you don't celebrate. You try to play all calm but
why you go score the goal?
If for me, someone.
Why you? Since scoring celebration is offensive, you think denying them 3 points is not offensive?
But Lamine Yamal, before that game, he was asked a question. This was all football. I think it was a basketball event or something. So he tried to compare Real Madrid to a team that steals, a team that robs. I mean, we know sometimes how we associate Real Madrid with they bribe referee, they get the favorite. So Lamine Yamal suggested that when he was asked that question, and apparently the Real Madrid players didn't find it funny. Like, we know what happens in the dressing room. They might not say that, you might not see, but some leaks might come out and say, okay, these players are angry that this player is going to say this out. So and you want to walk the talk, or what's that saying again? When you talk, you walk the talk. And at the end of the day, Lamine Yamal didn't have a good game for Barcelona at the end of the day. So I mean, let's talk Lamine Yamal now. Is he overdoing it?
No.
That's a straight answer.
No. It's like me now.
Because he's a talented kid, no doubt. One of the best players in the world right now. I mean, we've seen what he can do with that Barcelona team. It was just unfortunate he didn't have a good game. But sometimes when he talks, he does it. It's just like it didn't happen this time. He can talk. Lamine Yamal, he's caused so many controversies in his young career as a stand. But so for you, he's not overdoing it.
What do you mean?
So do you have a caution? Also, so do you have a caution for Lamine Yamal?
No, I don't have a caution for him. If what you do is within the ambit of the game, you're stoking the fire of the game, I'm cool with it. Some of the players that he's playing against in Madrid, I estimate at the national team. I think that if you take away controversy from football, the media will perish. And you take that away, money would reduce. Like in America, media is judged by rating. Why? When we're on this show, what's our biggest pain on this show? You can't tell me that this show that we created, the Gliders, are not matching every other podcast, every other sports show in terms of conversation and the way we dive through the most difficult league to discuss, the MPFL to European. But why are we angry all the time? Our numbers are not good. In the context of conversation, numbers are like rating. Look at CBS. They spend more time editing and showing you off football conversations that are funny. Last season it was breast standing, breast falling, breast doing this one, breast romantic, small breast, big breast, all of that, because that's what help with ratings. The El Clasico, we cannot in one breath say that the intensity, the energy, the battle, the rivalry that existed before no longer exist, and then on the other hand we will not come and say, oh, what Lamine Yamal is doing is overdoing it. That would be hypocritical of us. So if I want the intensity, the energy, the verve, the feeling that these guys are at war, gladiators, they are enemies, they want to go at each other, then I need somebody to stoke the fire. I need somebody to say, you know what, I don't care, I'm going to be Joshua and Caleb. Every other person will say we will die if we go there, but no, we're not going to die. Even Bible recorded people who could talk. You understand me? David said, who is this uncircumcised Philistines? That's him talking, but then he walked the talk. Joshua said, we are able to go and conquer. Him talking and walking the talk. Gideon says the same thing. So I don't think that there is any place in history. What's it called? The Prime Minister of Britain during the Second World War. What's his name now? Winston Churchill was the one who said, when your head is in the mouth of the crocodile, that's not the time to negotiate. That's the time to fight. And then they fought. He wasn't a good prime minister after war, but he was a battle leader. He was a guy who was good during the battle. He was a salesman for battle. Every of the greatest leaders that we've known, even Nelson Mandela, that did not lead a troop to war, is known for how he spoke, how he commanded his power of oratory. And in all of these are the things that people hear and they get inspired. They are ready to do one thing or the other. We saw Pogba at the 2018 World Cup in the dressing room. I think it was the semi-finals, where he was talking like he was the coach. We need those kind of leadership. Yeah. Why do we love people like Eric Cantona? Why do I rate Eric Cantona over Dennis Beckham? Dennis Beckham is quiet. He doesn't talk. Eric Cantona talks. You know, so if you have a team, especially a Barcelona team that now have like kids, babies, compared to what we used to know, you need a madman in the team.
For some session of the fans, they've seen this as confidence. Some are seeing it as unnecessary provocation. At least for such a young age,
for football match,
for Lamine Yamal, because I've seen some ex-players come out to say, I mean, it's unnecessary provocation from
every of the ex-players that are saying this is unnecessary, they did worse than Lamine Yamal in their time.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? I mean, what did Zlatan win? Why do we love him? You know that we love, if you put Paul Scholes or Ryan Giggs and Zlatan here, who would you pick? No, who would you pick?
Ibrahimovic.
But Zlatan does not have half the trophy that those two have. Yeah. Those two, in the world of football, they are up there. You know why people don't talk about Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes that much? Even though, if they talk about Premiership, they talk about Thierry Henry ahead of Ryan Giggs and Paul Scholes. You know how disgusting, I'm an Arsenal fan, how disgusting and annoying it is. Thierry Henry have 2 Premier League titles. People have 13. That's like Harvard standard. You're not saying somebody who went to LASU, sorry to LASU boy. That's somebody that went to LASU is better for the job than somebody who went to Harvard and really qualified, really got training, proper training. We're not talking about, say, the ones way, because some people go Harvard, come back, they don't get sense. They are running, coming in down. I'm telling you now, you want to tell me that, but because there was so much noise around Thierry Henry, he's arrogant, he's full of himself. Now you're not sitting and watch Thierry Henry telling you that kind of behavior is not good. Like, shut the please stop.
Timothy, I don't know. You've been jumping at the bit to say something. What's your take on the whole Yamal situation?
I have no issue with it, because for a player like him, who the ability matches what he says, like you already said, he talks most times and he does it most times. As a player, you'd always have bad games. Even Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, they've had bad games. So yesterday was one of those days, and he still even had instances where if the player in the front, which was Firmino, could have converted well, it would have led to a goal, and you could still see little impact. Maybe not what Lamine Yamal would usually do. He gave about 30%. He would normally give about 90 to 100. So, I mean, if you talk and the other player who has the ability, so why not? And the fight he had with Cavara, like Edafe had said, this is the same Cavara that when they are playing Spain against France, is the one that will protect him when Mbappe is going at him. So, it's one of those things. It happens. It depends on the side of the divide where you are. Piqué and Carlos Puyol will kill each other in the Classico, but when Spain is playing against the Netherlands,
Sergio Ramos.
Yeah, so Piqué and Sergio Ramos. Sorry, but when Spain is playing against the Netherlands, I mean, there'll be partners that will come together. So it's just part of the football. So far, you can deliver on the pitch, then you can do whatever you want to do, and it's still within the footballing angle. Then he's not gone overboard.
Talking about it being part of the football, I mean, Frankie de Jong, as Yamal's teammate at Barcelona, has come out to say that, I mean, his Spanish teammate at Real Madrid could have handled the situations better. Like Carvajal now, I mean, he's an experienced player. You don't make gestures to your Spanish teammates, even though it's Real Madrid Barcelona playing. So I don't know if you saw sense in what Frankie de Jong came out to say. He came out to say that, Lamine Yamal, you could have call him and talk to him, not make gestures on the pitch towards him.
Make it go.
So do you think Frankie de Jong has? Do you think do you see the sense in what he's saying? I mean, me and you not teammates for national team. I know go come make gestures for you on the pitch, because I go call you for back. You know, like if I do something now,
Frankie de Jong,
something like I'm trying to bring instance. I call you for back as my guy. Can't talk to you down to come bash you openly. Something like that.
Football is drama. I always say that. All these things we do, whether it's a show, whether it's football, we are all acting. It's a script. And if you're in the game long enough, you would understand. Let me use my former colleague as an example. So a lot of people, Murphy Jemba, a lot of people would tell you, Murphy is too loud, he's a talkative, he's this, is that. That's what he does on the microphone. Murphy is the shyest human being you would ever meet in your life. Murphy can't talk to like somebody that is older than looking them in the eyes. You've noticed that, right? Murphy can't talk to you looking you in the eyes. Like, I don't think Murphy can ever dare you Like, you know, those kind of, hey, Timothy, if you try me, if you say you get power, I can't slap me. Murphy's not that, no. See, like, his gentleness is beyond gentle. Like, you start beginning to worry, like, you know, all those kinds of, like, no, nah, this, like, be tough. It's nothing. It's not him at all. Does that not make him a bad person? When it comes to that script, it's fine. You know how many people who've met me off radios, you did smoke, Igbo, or you did drink? Because of the way I do on radio. But I don't never tasted alcohol. So it's a script. That script is needed for the El Clasico. Without the El Clasico, you know, boiling over.
Yeah.
There'll be no conversation.
La Liga will not have money. Right now, La Liga need all the money that they can get. A brand in Nigeria reached out to me. Like, they wanted to do like the Clasico watch along. And then asked me to, you know, pick any ex-footballers. First off, they came too late. I wasn't happy with that, but I called Mocha Adepoju. They took the matter back to their conversation, and they said nobody in their office, the Gen Zs, nobody knows.
No, oh wow.
Wait now. They now said I should get Amokachi for them. So I told them, okay, this is what it will cost to get Amokachi first and foremost. Amokachi is premium, right? Nothing on Mutu, but Mutu understand the league, is the ambassador for La Liga in Nigeria for so many years. Now, because you as Gen Z does not know him, does not mean he's not bringing value to the talk, because he's going to tell you history that even Amokachi will not be able to tell you, that you need to write for Amokachi. They still were talking about Amokachi, but at the end of the day, they didn't get to get him. They even mentioned Okocha, say, hey, you guys cannot get to Okocha. Okocha is like out of your this budget is out of it, so don't even mention it. My point here is, sometimes we forget that when it comes to sports, create the controversy that puts you in the conversation instead of trying to be too nice. You know that a lot of people do not understand how good Ricardo Kaká was. Yes, because they didn't watch him. But the same people who did not watch Maradona know about Maradona. The same people who did not watch Stoichkov still talk about Stoichkov today. Romario, Ronaldo da Lima, Ronaldinho. Let me put it this way. My mom, when we were growing up, she would sit us down. You know, my mom, she had 12 children, 4 died, 2 were 8. She would sit us down and say that every home need to have 1 or 2 persons in the house that outsiders believe can kill someone. Now, think about this. You're like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's the age you are. And your mother, who goes to church, wake up everybody every day to do morning devotion, who force everybody to fast, is saying that. What is she saying? She will not explain to you that, you see these girls, they are the weaker people in this house. If outsiders, all this talk when she get out of us talk, now me she talk to her. She's talking to me. If outsider know, say they go fit touch them, rape them, do them anything, and nobody for this house go do anything. Now every day they go they rape them. So let's see, you must be the devil of the house. Like, this is a 11-year-old boy that you're telling this. I'm looking at my daughter, she's 11 now. I don't think my son 13, I can't even tell him that. My son that went to school, they beat the sister. I came back and I said, why didn't you beat the person? You know what he told me? He said, Daddy, that would be proliferating violence. I don't know who taught him that. He was like 7 years old at this time. Who taught him the word proliferating? But that was like the day I just know that I failed as a father. Because I couldn't have said that to my mother. My mother would come out my teeth with slap and beat and everything. He said, Daddy, don't you think that would be proliferating violence? I mean, I've tried to change his understanding now. But you see, that saved us in the ghetto. That saved us in the hood. The same thing with football. Look at what football is today. The name is sweet again. You see all those crunch tackles, all those Reke going at Vieira, Vinnie Jones, you know, Dennis Wise, all those people going at each other was good for the game. He made players stronger. He made people dribble more. He made you know the difference between the weak and the strong. The people who cannot fight must know how to dribble. The Jokos of this world who cannot throw punch must know how to dribble. Who can create chaos at any given time. Today, it's not. You keep low block. You now start playing free kick FC. Any low block now, you cannot penetrate low block.
I think my manager he cried up and down.
Yes, and it's not that. He's lamenting. He's writing more book than the people who wrote the book of lamentation.
This man don't go back. Go count how many long balls when Liverpool don't face.
Can you imagine when you start counting long balls against you? There was a time when it was a hallmark of Hull City, Bolton Wanderers, Stoke City, Wolverhampton Wanderers, where you have Mick McCarthy, all these other coaches. Nobody complained now. You know that when you're going to face Stoke City, my brother, they are not ready to dribble with you. Although your Fabregas passing, more than the pass. Now, say there's a guy called Davis. He go use the big head for Bolton Wanderers attack you. Those were games. When you play finish, your physiotherapist team know that they have job to do. I think this time you just go to your physio and lick ice cream. That's why they're doing a lot of Instagram videos from their physio room. Because that time your body they pay you know if you do video.
Nah.
My point is you need that aggression, you need that violence, you need all those chaos that comes with the game. I'm not a fan of Eden Hazard. Maybe because I'm an Arsenal fan and the guy tortures us well, right? But oh God, if you know how much I wish he was playing for Arsenal. Just the same way almost every Chelsea and Man United fan wish Thierry Henry was playing for them because of the chaos he brings. Sometimes the chaos is in the game. Sometimes it's in the talking. Some people do it with their mouth. Like they talk you down. Jose Mourinho. Tell me you didn't like Jose Mourinho if Jose Mourinho was your coach.
Very
Lamine Yamal don't do rich Jose Mourinho. What's wrong? That mean Jose Mourinho go poke Tito Villanova for eye.
Yeah. The thing people are looking at is the age. Like they keep on saying that he's too young.
At what age are you supposed to be
I just look at it like he's too young to be caught in such controversial figure. You know, as such a young age, playing at the club like Barcelona and stuff like that.
Pele promised the whole Brazil that he was going to win the World Cup for them 4 years before he won it. It was like 14 a bit 13 years when he promised that he was going to win the World Cup for Brazil after they lost in Sweden and where they lost one World Cup finals to Sweden also. And no, I don't think Sweden have won the World Cup, but they lost one World Cup finals and his parents were crying and he said he was going to at the age of 13 and then at the age of 17 he won it. Was it too small? Lamine Yamal that has been nominated for Ballon d'Or. Lamine Yamal that won Copa Award. Lamine Yamal that deliver euros for them is too small to run on his eternal rival.
Well, like you said, when you talk, just make sure you have the confidence and the ability.
Even if you fail,
to also walk the talk. Because I mean, like you said, I don't think there will be any bad blood in the end between Carvajal and Yamal. You know, it's just to. I think heat of the moment,
and then if
like
those
that.
scenarios don't happen, there will be nothing Maka will be able to talk about or publish this morning.
What will we be talking about this morning? We'll just say yesterday Classico ended 2-1.
Yeah.
Well, for Real Madrid, for Real Madrid, I mean the big players at the end they stepped up. Bellingham with the goals, Mbappe just can't stop scoring as well. You know, one key player for Real Madrid this season. So in the end,
why is Mbappe's brand so silent? I don't understand. Is it because he's black?
Well, that's
the guy doesn't get involved in controversy.
You know, I noticed that maybe that's a conversation maybe that's a conversation for another day as well. Because when you look at it as well, even Yamal is even getting more talk than Mbappe when it comes to that regard. But I mean, credit to Mbappe what he's done and what he's doing at Real Madrid. I mean, we faced
great player.
Liverpool faced
Real
Madrid.
The squad that was cancelled. That was
bro.
Mbappe,
great footballer, and
Lord,
one key player for Real Madrid. And I think Xabi Alonso also, I mean, did his assignment really well to study this Barcelona team. He was bold in his calls as well in that game. The players
have learned after the loss to Atletico Madrid.
To Atletico Madrid. So I mean, he really made a name for himself. Did better in that game tactically against Hansi Flick. So in the end, it was a deserved.
But a lot of people are not talking about the injuries that Barcelona are suffering.
I mean, but it's the result in the end. You can't say injuries as an excuse for Barcelona in that fixture. So deserved win for Real Madrid, needed after being tormented by Barcelona all through last season. So that was what happened in the El Clasico. So many big games also happened in the Premier League, but we'll go on one final break on the show, then we'll head straight into the Premier League. Don't go anywhere, I'll be right back. Welcome back, guys, to the Gliders on Bets WGB TV. It has been fun on the show all through. If you stayed with us till this very point, thank you. Stay with us till the very end. And also to remind you, we've got a bonus credit for you to claim if you sign up on the Bet WGB platform. Just use the promo code Gliders, as you can see on your screens. Bet responsibly and make sure you are above 18. Now, guys, back on the show. 3 wins on the bounce for Ruben Amorim, Manchester United. All of a sudden, there's been no talk about three at the back anymore. So, what is the turnaround? Is the system now working for Manchester United? Timothy, let me start with you.
I don't know.
Or has it been the system for you all this while that the whole talk of change the system is not working? I think we were here at one point on the show where I love it when you have a philosophy, you stick to it through thick and thin, and you pull through in the end. So I don't know, he might lose the next game, but you have to give him the credit. 3 wins on the bounce, what they've not done since he came. So what has happened to that same 3 at the back that is working now, that has not been working before?
The only thing that has happened, like I would always say, people would always give credit to a manager whenever he's winning, and whenever
Timothy, just to add, have you come back to Man United now? You're still with Inter. You're still with Inter.
Yes. When a manager, when a team is winning, there will always be that credit. And the most important thing for Man United is they've won these games, and they've won games that have been difficult. I mean, if you look at the run in 5 games, they've won 4. They beat Chelsea, they lost to Brentford, and they beat Sunderland. Then they went to Anfield, they won against
Liverpool,
Anfield.
yeah.
Brighton, that has always been a tormenting team for them. They beat them,
scored
and
4.
then there's Nottingham Forest and Tottenham Hotspur coming up. So if you look at it, the games in which they've won have been difficult ones, where you would normally look at Manchester United with the way they've been under Ruben Amorim and say that, okay, highest they win 1, then draw 2 or lose the remaining 2, that kind of thing. So they've done the job by winning, and winning is something that most times can give you that momentum, can give you that edge. Players can build that confidence. Fernandes, you can see Mbeumo is beginning to score goals. The first few games of the season was dry for him. Now Kone has gotten his own also. So it's something that builds that spirit, and let's see how they push it against Nottingham Forest. I feel like they'll win the one against Nottingham Forest, and maybe the one against Spurs, I don't know, but it's good that they are winning games now. Maybe that guy, just two more games left for him. Hopefully they don't cut it off for him, because if they cut it off, it will pain them. I mean, for a team that went 3 on difficult games where you do not expect them to win and they've won. I mean, if they get that 5th win, like on the consecutive straight, and I think they should invite him to Old Trafford. Maybe they bad the air for Carrington.
Who's that?
So it was
The guy that has been keeping his head for so long.
For context, he didn't get the
because
picture.
I was wondering.
Oh yeah, there's this guy that has been keeping his hair. I wish our producer had the picture now. We can put it on the screen. There's this guy that's been keeping his hair. He's been counting for so many days now. That if Man United win 5 straight games in the row,
that's gonna cut
his hair. His hair is so.
Man United not win 5 on the road.
But to still
He's still on the road now, right?
Yeah.
And there's Spurs and
There's
so do you think?
and Spurs.
Do you think the vote of
no,
confidence?
they win the 5.
Do you think the vote of confidence from the owner has also played a part in this? Because when you have,
Jim Ratcliffe has
Ratcliffe
backed him
coming
so
out
much.
to say, okay, we've given him so amount of years to stay on the job, he's gonna see it till the very
I
end.
use that as an example.
So I mean, do you think that also played a part in this turnaround? I don't know. We are calling it a turnaround now. We have to talk about it because they won 3 on the bounce. We don't know what will happen in subsequent games, but we need to talk about it. 3 wins in a row for Manchester United. So do you think all this has also played a part?
It would be bad blood, bad analysis if when he wasn't winning, everybody was on him, everybody was tearing him down. To not come here as, oh no, not fluke, it's luck. Hey, they will lose the next game. I don't think it is. I think that every coaches have what they believe in and how they want to go about it. I was also one of those who thought that he was stubborn about what he was doing. It's good to be stuck in your ways, but be flexible about it as well. I think in coaching, I don't believe in the word plan B in coaching. I don't. You have what works for you. You work it. But be flexible with it. You can be fluid. Arteta have been very flexible with what he's doing, how he's going about his team. Some things I see him do this season. In the past 2, 3, 4 seasons, he didn't do them. This time he's just going, let's win the game. Anyhow, anywhere Belefe is in front, we can win. Same with Amorim. You see, when you're losing, open yourself up for flexibility. I remember at the start of the season during transfer window, I said one thing, that Man United have solved their problems, but Arsenal have not completely solved their problem. But then reverse became the case when the season started, because everybody was coming in, putting their foot well. I thought that the players that they signed were players that were good enough to put them in the title race. I remember saying it at the beginning that this team should be competing for the title. Now they're in the top 6 or top 5. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, because they seem to love the 15th, 12th, 15th, and 18th position more than anything. Sorry, Timothy. But I think that when you are doing any job in your low time and your boss comes out in public to say, I am with you. You are my guy. I'm stuck with you. I'm going to be with you. It's one of the greatest things that can happen to you on the job. Whether, because over time we've said that the famous vote of confidence in football for coaches is a few days away from sacking, because most coaches get sacked immediately after that.
They come out.
But for Radcliffe, he came out and he explained his position with the Arteta position, and he said things like, "Oh, everybody's talking about Arteta being the best coach now, blah blah blah." I'm paraphrasing now, but if he was fired in the first season where he ended up 8th, or the second season where he ended up 8th, because let's not forget, this Arteta that everybody's complaining about is been second in the past 3 seasons, also went back to back 8th position. I keep saying that if that Amazon Prime video wasn't done, the second season Arteta would have been fired. So, I mean, everybody has looked at that. That gives a lot of people introspective insight into, okay, maybe if we also do the same thing with this guy, it might come out good. We might go from 12th, 15th to 8th, and 8th to 5th, 5th to 2nd consecutively, and then maybe winning it. Instead of bringing new coaches, look at the money we spend. A new coach comes in and will tell you, Mateus Cunha is not good enough for him. What's it called? Mbuemo doesn't fit his style. Bruno Fernandes is tired. You change like 10 players again and bring in new. Arteta had to change the entire players he met. The same players he signed, he's also removed some of them and he's bringing in more. So you look at all that, the cost of running this business, the plan to build a new stadium. Why not stick with this guy, see where we will go? So it was a good one that he had that hands on the shoulder. Like we always say about players, coaches should put their hand on their shoulder. I didn't experience that in my playing days anyway. And, it would make them fire on all cylinder. I think that is working. Looking at this and juxtaposing it to Arsenal, you will not say the next best thing to do is to fill every position with an extra player, because he also worked at Man City. Man City became a quadruple threat or a triple threat when every position had like 2 top class players and 1 extra.
And the drop of quality should not be way off.
Man United should not look at this and say, okay, what we're saying now, we're liking it. We will build on this. The ancestors of Man United, the class of 92, are also shielding their sword. You see, the criticism is not as hard as it used to be. They are shielding their sword. They are trying to, talk up the chances of the players, saying that if they continue like this, they'll be a better team. I think they should just go on this trajectory. I'm not saying they're going to win every single game. The next game, Nottingham Forest, Tottenham Hotspur also a yo-yo. They've always been a yo-yo team. Not also. They've always been a yo-yo team. The day they play Man United might be the day, they find one kind of amazing form. And then on the other half of the city, Manchester City wins today, lose tomorrow, it's also there. So it's a chance for them to say, Manchester are not firing on all cylinder. Liverpool are, kind of like dealing with a statistician as their coach now. He's no longer a coach anymore. And Man City, Pep Guardiola. So the real coach of Man City we now know is that the wife of Pep Guardiola is the real coach of Man City, is the one that's been winning the titles, because since she left, City cannot even find the verve to win titles anymore. They can say, we'll give Arsenal a run. We'll come in there. When we play them at the beginning of the season, we almost got a point from them. So I think that's something that puts them in a place. What footballers need, actually, apart from all the system, all the tactics, and all the selection of players, give them a goal that they are hungry to achieve. Yeah. If you look at the Arsenal team, you know that these guys, Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba, for instance, when you tell them that Virgil van Dijk is better than them, I don't think they can comprehend it. That how is this guy better than us? But then when they raise that argument of how is this guy, they say he's won 2 Premier League titles, he's won the Champions League, he's taking Liverpool to this place. What have you done? They become useless. Like the argument just died there, just for flats, So like an impotent man in front of a naked woman. So right now it is now up to Manchester United to give these players something to pursue, because Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba know somewhere at the back of their head that if we lead Arsenal to win the Premier League title and the Champions League title, hypothetically, nobody is going to come tell us that Virgil van Dijk is better than us again. They become that conversation that I don't even want anybody to raise, but people will raise it, that they are the all-time greatest defensive pair to play in the
and not even with the recording which they are pushing at the
that
moment.
Conversation will come up. Let's say they end this season with this way they are keeping clean sheet, like it's a pack of cards, right? Like you can just go and pick every game now. You're sure of clean sheets. I've been following Arsenal all my life. I'm not sure I've ever had that. If they go on to win the league, let's say hypothetically they win the Premier League, win the FA Cup, leave Carabao Cup, we don't need it, and then go and win the Champions League. some funny pundit out of somewhere will start the conversation and it will hold ground. You get my point?
Exactly.
Plus the fact that Michael Essien scores a lot of goals that Virgil van Dijk is not scoring. So all of those things, they have that hunger now. That's what they're chasing. You could see they celebrate tackles. I've not seen teams celebrate tackles before. They celebrate block, they celebrate tackles. Because clean sheet, they believe that if we keep a clean sheet, we might get a goal. After all, we score free kick, we'll get a goal. So Man United need to have that kind of, we can do it. Under Sir Alex Ferguson, it was Fergie time. Man United can be losing and they show you the scoreboard 5 minutes to go. And you're winning, you're thinking you've won. Those players already have it in their DNA, ingrained in their system that when this time reach, now we even give our best. This is when we come forth. So let's have that one. While Liverpool's coach has become a pundit, a statistician.
Football has been tough for Liverpool fans. Defeats upon defeats upon defeats. But we were still watching.
Watch now.
We'll still support the team, but fantastic weekend.
At the end of this season, you know what the topic of discussion will be? Who's the worst ever defending champion in the history of the Premier League?
No, we will bounce back. Liverpool will bounce back. We won't get to that conversation.
The first defending champion in the EPL that will not make the top 4. Liverpool.
Well, it won't happen. But we'll keep our fingers crossed. But
you have faith?
We'll make the top 4. We'll make To be honest, on the last edition of the show, I was saying I was not worried. But with what I'm seeing now,
are you worried?
No, the worry is coming gradually. So, but Crystal Palace is next in the Carabao Cup. Another game. I don't know.
Another team that will beat you.
I don't know what's going to happen. But
that will be good for you now, so that you have lesser games to play.
Well, it's been tough, but credit to Arsenal. Another ugly win. But who cares? They keep on winning. Chelsea lost. Chelsea lost. City lost.
6 points clear of. Let me say
of Liverpool. We're 7 point clear of them. Don't pick it 6.
Yeah, 6 of City, 7 of Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm trying to a good driver. I think they are 7 of City. 7.
That's why they will be the worst defending champion in the history of the Premier League. First defending champion in Premier League era that did not make top 4.
All right, guys. So that's as much as we can take on the show. Producer has been on my neck for us to wrap this up. But
what a shame.
I would leave you with this bit of information. The last time a team in Scotland that wasn't Rangers or Celtic won the Scottish Premiership was 40 years ago. So as it stands, Hearts of Midlothian are top of the Scottish Premier League, ahead of Celtic
and that
Rangers.
Year when they won
in their last 8 games. So
40 years ago, won in England.
So I just wanted to end the show with that bit of information.
I'm trying to link 1 or 2 together.
If you get it, if you don't get it, forget about it. My name is Yamal Classico. It's been fun on the gliders. Till we come away again next time. Bye bye.